Yo, what's up, YouTube? It is ZTAY, aka Lil Red. I want to talk about this Lakers versus Mavericks game, the double overtime game, my thoughts on it. Am I worried about the Lakers as a Lakers fan in this video? Are the Lakers in trouble? I, as a Lakers fan, do not think the Lakers are in trouble. Actually, in fact, I think the exact opposite. I think we're in a very good position right now. Also, today, we had a workout supposedly with DeMarcus Cousins and Myers Leonard, so I'm interested to see how that went, if it even went through. But that being said, let's talk about this Mavericks and Lakers game. Luka Doncic hitting a couple clutch shots at the end, a couple missed calls by the refs at the end of the game, going both sides. Even as an unbiased fan of the basketball, I think there was a couple calls in regulation that kind of went the Mavericks' way. That being said, I think the shot at the end of regulation by Troy Brown Jr. was a foul by Tim Hardaway, but the NBA came out today and said it wasn't. I disagree. Overtime, LeBron gets hit on the elbow, fouled, disagree. But at the same time, I don't expect the refs to try to bail players out at the end of the game. Because if you think about it, you know how much attention goes on the refs when they call a foul for free throws with 0 seconds left. So honestly, I wasn't really expecting a foul call, especially with Troy Brown Jr. because let's be honest, it's Troy Brown Jr. He's not gonna get a superstar call. LeBron James don't really get calls when he goes to the paint. But now that I got the refs out the way, and it was frustrating to see, and I think that's a big reason we lost, Luka Doncic is very, very clutch. He had moments where he didn't look good. In the fourth quarter, didn't score at all. Until the very end, he hit those 3 points. And you know what those 3 points were? The step back to tie the game, which Darvin Ham came out and said it was a coaching problem. He should have fouled. Maybe not fouled, just played it a little differently. I forget who was on him. Maybe it's Troy Brown Jr., Dennis Schroeder. Somebody was on him. He hit the step back 3 on him. Dennis Schroeder could not guard Luka Doncic the entire night, which is not surprising. LeBron James had another very good game. The reason I am not worried. Number one, I want to say shout out Wenyen Gabriel for having a very, very good game. Get more minutes than Thomas Bryant, who's been playing really good. Dennis Schroeder not having the best game, not having the worst game, I guess. Kendrick Nunn kind of slowing down. Kendrick Nunn did kind of mess up the rhythm in that third quarter. I feel like he was playing pretty good, and then he started doing a little bit too much. I did see something that does concern me, though, and that is Russell Westbrook running to Darvin Ham and telling him to call a timeout. That being said, I don't want people to overreact about this. I know it looks bad on Darvin Ham, first-time head coach or whatever, missing timeouts, important moments, but he's got other things to think about. If you think about it, who's the Lakers' assistant head coach? Is it Phil Handy? Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like Darvin Ham's kind of doing everything. So I don't think it hurts that a leader like Russ is going to go in and help him out, call a timeout. And speaking about Russ, those clutch free throws at the end of overtime or regulation, I forget I think it was maybe the first overtime. I honestly forget because there was 2 overtimes. And we'll talk about that in a second. They were clutch. I was kind of worried about Russ because everybody was saying it was a foul on Dennis Schroeder. He should be going to the line, and you could see everybody knows deep down that it's on Russ. And we don't want Russ going to the line because just earlier he missed a couple free throws. We go through the timeout. I was just watching his mannerisms. He looked nervous. But he went up and he hit the 2 clutch free throws. And that's when we let up the Luka step back 3. So should I be concerned about letting Luka do this? No. It was a very good game. One of the best games. Actually, the best game I saw in the last 2 days. Actually, in the last week. That game was very good. One of the best games of the season. As an NBA fan, I enjoyed it. It hurt as a Lakers fan. But in double overtime, you could see Luka's gassed. 51 minutes, his career high. They still finish it off. Am I worried about the Lakers? No. We have no Anthony Davis. On top of that, no Lonnie Walker. On top of that, no Austin Reeves. Those are our 3 best players outside of LeBron James. You could say Thomas Bryant, Dennis Schroeder, but those are the dudes stepping up as of late. You think back to the start of the season, Lakers fans, who was playing good? Lonnie Walker, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves. 3 of those 4 players are out, and we are still playing good. We are still 2 games, 1 game from the play-in, 2 games from the 7th seed, 6th seed, 8th seed. It's wide open in the West. Anthony Davis, they're saying, is starting to ramp up his injury, return to the court, starting to do some underwater movements. So I guess that's progress. He said it's getting a little bit better. Hopefully Lonnie Walker's going to come back soon. Hopefully Austin Reeves is going to come back soon. Once we get all those together, we start getting some chemistry up. I think it's going to be after All-Star break before we see those guys again, maybe another month. Maybe that we'll see him before. But I think by or after All-Star break, I think we should be good. Now, there is one thing that concerns me, and this concerns me the most. Trade rumors. I'm afraid we're going to mess something up. I saw a trade rumor today that the Lakers are considering and wanting to trade Russell Westbrook for Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet. Now, I did see Gary Payton and Anunoby in like a projected, fan trade. I don't want Fred VanVleet. He's on an expiring contract. He's having one of the worst seasons he's had in the last couple of years. Russell Westbrook is playing perfect right now off the bench. We have chemistry with him. Fred VanVleet, yes, he's a shooter. Yes, he's going to help our shooters. But, bro, it's no. Do not trade for a struggling player. It does not make sense. And that's my concern, that we're going to make a dumb trade. Now, it came out that Pelinka said he wants to make a trade for a player who's going to help the Lakers over the next 3 years. And maybe he says Fred VanVleet is going to do that if he decides to pick up his player option. Because if we do somehow get Fred VanVleet, he has the option to decline his player option and enter free agency, and then we lose him. You could say, Westbrook, free agent this year, lose him too, might as well use it. But VanVleet is having his worst years this year. Worst year? He's not playing good this year. So why would you trade Russell Westbrook, who is the leading 6-man candidate of the year, for a struggling Fred VanVleet? Now, I could understand maybe Gary Trent, maybe OG Anunoby, even Chris Boucher, I guess, but not Fred VanVleet. Now they said Kyle Lowry. Who are we trading for Kyle Lowry? Don't tell me it's going to be Russell Westbrook. You look at contracts, I don't think Lowry has a big one, but who are we going to trade for Kyle Lowry? I don't think we should trade future first round picks for an old point guard who is not the same as he used to be. I'm worried that we're going to trade another Russell Westbrook for another Russell Westbrook, if that makes sense. You already see, add some young players, man. If this season don't work out, then what? We got an old Kyle Lowry. We got Fred VanVleet. Ooh, it might not sound bad to have Fred VanVleet, but you never know. It's not looking good for him right now. I don't understand why we don't throw something at Bogdanovich. Now, the Pistons said they want a young player in return and a pick. You know what they might be offering us? Max Christie, who's been playing incredibly well right now. Would you guys trade Max Christie for Bogdanovich? I don't think so. And I think the Pistons might have to lower that asking price of Bogdanovich. Yes, his stats are inflated, and I think that's why they think he has so much value. But that's my concern, not that we've been losing games, especially to the Dallas Mavericks, who are a high seed or a mid seed in the West, when we only had LeBron James and a couple role players around him. But because we might make a trade for Fred VanVleet. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Lakers fans, are we concerned about this trade for Fred VanVleet? Do you guys even want it? Do you guys want it? Do you guys think we should trade Max Christie, make him available in order to get Bogdanovich, or should we just stick with the current roster? Let me know trade ideas down below in the comments, and also let me know if you're worried about our performance so far this season. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is ZTAY. Peace.